Hello, and welcome to the webinar for prospective SEMTE students. We're excited that you're interested in one of our SEMTE programs. Today, what we're going to go over is our SEMTE basics, our primary admissions criteria, our secondary admissions criteria, and your next steps. Here at SEMTE, we offer 4 different undergraduate degrees: aerospace engineering, chemical engineering, material science and engineering, and mechanical engineering. As you can see, aerospace engineering and mechanical engineering do have some concentrations available. However, for the purposes of admissions, we're just going to look at the degree as a whole. And please be aware that if you are an ASU online student, the only program that we currently offer online is mechanical engineering, no concentration. Now, we have 2 paths towards admissibility, and you must meet one of the following: our primary admissions criteria or our secondary admissions criteria. All of our SEMTE programs require more than the ASU minimum requirements for our primary admissions criteria. For incoming first-year students or students who have completed 0 to 11 credits post-high school, you must have one of the following: a minimum 1,210 SAT combined evidence-based reading and writing plus math score, or a minimum 24 ACT combined score, or a minimum 3.0 A board GPA, or a class ranking in the top 25% of their high school class. In addition to one of those, they must also meet the math and science competency requirements. For transfer students who have completed 12 to 23 credits post-high school, you must meet all of the following incoming first-year requirements and have a minimum transfer GPA of a 3.0. For transfer students who have completed 24 credits or more post-high school, you must have a minimum transfer GPA of a 3.0 and meet all of the math and science competency requirements. Now, please be aware that if you are a current ASU student looking to change your major into one of our SEMTE programs, you are still considered a transfer student. And your transfer GPA will consist of all of the courses that you have taken in your undergraduate career. So whether you are transferring from an outside institution or from ASU or with a combination of both, all of those will be combined for your transfer GPA. Students who do not meet our primary admissions criteria are still encouraged to shoot for our secondary admissions criteria. Now, this does only apply to students who have completed 24 or more credits post-high school. The requirements for our secondary admissions are a minimum transfer GPA of a 2.75 and a minimum cumulative GPA of a 2.75 in all of the critical courses shown below. What we mean by this is that you have to have an average 2.75 in all of the critical courses. Now, the math and science course competencies are as follows. For mathematics, you must meet one of the following: 4 years of high school math, or a minimum test score of a 24 on the ACT math, or 580 on the SAT math, or one transferable 3-credit college math course for which at least intermediate algebra is a prerequisite. So if you have completed MAT 117 college algebra or higher, then you will meet this mathematics competency requirement. For lab science, you may meet one of the following or any combination of the 3 as long as you have 3 different lab-based sciences. So 3 years of different high school lab sciences, or a minimum test score in 3 standardized tests from 3 different subject matters, or 3 transferable 4-credit college lab sciences from the following subjects: biology, chemistry, earth science, or physics. So, for example, if you completed 2 years of high school lab science, and then you did 1 4-credit college lab science, let's say, for example, Chem 113, General Chemistry 1, then the combination of those 2 years of lab sciences in high school plus the 1 4-credit college lab science will combine to meet that 3 different lab-based sciences for this requirement. Now, your next steps and what you should do if you're not meeting our admissions criteria. No exceptions can be made to the SEMTE admissions criteria, so we recommend that you use a GPA calculator to determine if meeting admissibility is a feasible goal. We encourage you to explore other major options, as not all programs have the same admissibility criteria, even within the Fulton Schools of Engineering. Determine if you would still like to pursue one of SEMTE's engineering programs, and you can begin taking courses towards the desired degree and work towards admissibility. Lower division coursework is available to students outside of the major if you meet the enrollment requirements and reserve capacity requirements. So, all of the critical courses listed previously are available to students outside of the SEMTE programs. The most important tools when pursuing admissibility into one of our SEMTE programs is going to be the FSE Secondary Admission Review Audit, or the ES-STARS. On the right of the slide here, you'll see how to populate a what-if DARS report to populate the FSE Secondary Admission Review Audit. This will display your cumulative GPA and list all of the critical secondary admissions courses for each FSE degree. You can scroll until you see the degree of your choosing, and you can review the critical courses listed. It can help you keep track of them and help you determine what grades you need in order to meet the GPA requirements. There are a couple of different GPA calculators available to you that we recommend you utilize when pursuing our admissions criteria. The first is the ASU GPA calculator. Follow the steps to determine your projected semester and cumulative GPA. It's very helpful for setting goals at the beginning of a semester. Next is the credit GPA calculator. With this, you plug in your information to determine how many credits it will take you to reach admissions criteria and what GPA average you will need in those classes. If you have any D or E grades, please make sure to add those credits to your current total credits. If you do wish to explore other degree programs, ASU has a large variety of degree programs that you can choose from. You can explore degrees through your My ASU or by clicking here on the PDF version of this presentation. You can also run a What If DARS audit report for different majors to see how your credits apply towards that degree program. Here are some other degrees that are ABET accredited here within the Fulton Schools that may not have the same admissions requirements that we do for our SEMTE programs. There's biomedical engineering, civil, computer systems engineering, electrical engineering, industrial engineering, and software engineering, to name a few. Please be aware that if you are an ASU online student, not all of these programs may be offered online, but we still encourage you to explore what is offered here at ASU. Now here are your next steps to work towards admissibility to one of our SEMTE programs. Number 1, you want to complete all of the prerequisite courses for our critical courses. Second, you want to complete those critical courses. Third, review the admissions criteria and the GPA calculator. If you believe you are meeting the admissions criteria, you can either email semte@asu.edu or request a change of major on your My ASU. Again, on the right, you can see an example of how to change your major from your My ASU. Some additional tips for meeting our admissibility is course reserves. Reserves are used to ensure courses stay available for students in the major to keep them on track for graduation. A course with a reserve will have a green triangle next to it. So, if a course is reserved, check the reserve expiration date, and after it is expired, you can enroll in the class as long as you meet any other prerequisites. For transfer courses, all transcripts sent to ASU are evaluated for credit based on information available and updated on the Transfer Credit Guide. Once admitted to ASU, you can submit relevant courses for evaluation. If there's no equivalency currently on file. We are unable to do further evaluations above and beyond what is articulated until you become admissible, so please work with your current advising team of your declared program if you need any additional assistance with the transfer credit guide.